Now, our lab is recording brainwaves using this 128 electrode cap that you can see in the middle. But what we're using is the so-called P300, which is a reflection of the brain's response to unexpected events. And it's one of several event-related potential components that we have been working with, and many other people are working with, which seem to reflect the activity of what's known as the executive control system, which is the part of the brain in the frontal lobes that manages our activities and keeps us from behaving like animals. So we're interested in studying the effect of head blows on the executive control system. So we drafted a proposal for the IRB to get permission to use the subject and to test the hypothesis that deleterious effects of blows on the head accumulate and affect the executive control system. We'll pick up 20 students, and I will administer to each of the students a severe blow on the head with a mallet and repeat it several times for several weeks. And we submitted this to the IRB. Well, you can imagine the IRB's response, I'm sure you can. But if you replace Professor Donchin with the mallet, by participants will be members of a football team and will record the blows they received during the normal game. That seemed not to bother the IRB, and they denied me the pleasure of using the mallet and agreed to allow me to put the subject, in danger of head blows by allowing them to play football. So we got approval for this study. The study became really possible because Professor Del Rossi from the Concussion Center got hold of what he called the HIT system, which is based mostly on these helmets that you see on the bottom. And this is a regular football helmet like you see in the middle picture, except that the helmet is equipped with 6 accelerometers that record every blow they receive and send it by telemetry to a computer so that over a game, however long the game is, we get a continuing blow-by-blow record, not only of when the blow happened, but whether it was linear or angular, and what was the force of the blow. And so Professor Donchin didn't need the mallet to do the study. We could do it with this HIT system. And that's a perfectly normal P300. Its appearance on the scalp over the 128 electrodes is concentrated in the back of the head over what is known as the parietal cortex, and that's where the P300 normally appears. So the baseline data for this particular subject are just as normal as any subject we've ever on. Now we see 4 successive sessions following the games, and you can see, and we measured the P300 using our methodology, and it turns out that there is a severe reduction in the amplitude of the P300 in this particular subject as the game went on. We're not relating at this stage, this is the processing we're still doing, to the number of and exact quality of the blows in each of the game period. This is just, they played the game, they clearly got a lot of blows on the head, and there was clearly a drop in the amplitude of the P300. We have done the same recording for 3 or 4 other ERP components. In the end, we'll have a very detailed picture of various aspects of the executive control system, and we will relate it to the actual blows that these particular players got in every single period. While there's a lot of data that suggests that serious brain damage is occurring in football players, as has been reported repeatedly by the people who are collecting this data, virtually all of the data that is available is based on post-mortem of brains extracted from the bodies of dead football players. Is there really an effect to subconcussive blows? We can look at what happened to players in great detail without them necessarily being hospitalized or committing suicide or whatever, and it's very interesting from our perspective, even if it wasn't good service to the football community. Why football is legal is a question I have absolutely no word on. I can't imagine why they allow this game to go on, but that's a separate issue.